All right, guys, we're live. Going to review some stocks today. Looks like tech stocks are down pretty bad, as usual. This all this tariff news, the news with Nvidia, has just really, I think, turned it. So now we're gonna see just a further downside here. So we just have to be looking out for levels that if you're gonna play options, you're gonna look for pops, and then you're gonna look to short. And then if you're gonna look to if you're gonna look to short, it's fine. Just be safe, know your levels, and that's what I'm here for. So let me just get into this. All right, so let's just get into this real quick. We'll get this up. We'll go into the levels, break it all down for you. We got Jay Young in the house. Give a shout out to Jay Young, one of our WAP members. All right, guys, so let's go into it. This is the channel Trading Simplified. If you haven't seen it, this is my YouTube channel. Definitely be sure just to check out all the videos and all the playlists that are associated with it as well. Just want to show you guys real quick. This is where I do the live pre-market analysis, usually on Wednesdays. We have the members only playlist for the YouTube members that pay $2 a month. Appreciate you guys. We have the crypto trading on Gemini. You get access that with the members only. Then you have Fidelity, index funds, ETFs, playlists, all that stuff you can definitely check out. And then Vanguard if you're looking for different index funds, ETFs. There's so much on this. Definitely check it out. And let's just get into the stocks because I want to start off with Nvidia. Then we'll go back to the QQQ SPY and all that. Nvidia just sucks right now. This is the level that it's trading at. They got hit with that news from China with the 5.5 billion with the exports. This looks like it's headed for further downside. I wouldn't really trust this level. We can see we're looking here, right here on Nvidia. 104 is going to break today. Pretty much guaranteed at this point. Until all this news gets figured out with these tariffs, you're going to be pretty much screwed. I can't imagine. I'm doing, I have I buy a lot of this stuff. I buy a lot of tech, but you got to be realistic about this, that the tech stocks are in trouble right now. And I've been buying the dip. I'm buying a dip and buyer of it, but I have a long-term view, and I don't think that, we really can't predict where it's going to go from here until we can get that answer of, okay, we have set rules with the tariffs and China and US stop fighting, because it's just not going to work with the going back and forth with the tariffs. So looking at this, we're sitting at 104, 105. If you're looking to buy long term and you didn't get into this 86, I don't blame you for trying to get in. Makes sense. So not a bad place, but I think we have further downside to $100 per share today. That's where I'd really be looking. Just to show you guys that didn't see the news last night, you had this pullback. I think it was about 6%, pulling back from 112 all the way down, 7% down already. So yeah, the F-Tech Jay Young is definitely the way to go. You know me, I buy this one. For everybody that is new to the channel, I usually buy FSPGX. We're building that in the YouTube portfolio, and we buy that every single Monday. So now we saw the levels for Nvidia. Let's get into some of the other ones. This is what you're watching. Just watch that 104 level. If it snaps, you're going to $100. You're trading within this range of 105 to 115. Don't be surprised if it breaks again. QQQ is being dragged down. Why? Because of Nvidia. As you can see, we were trading 460 down. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to the one day. Yeah. Wow. So 462 all the way down to 450. 447 is your gap fill right here. You could expect a potential pullback to this area. All right, so looking here, watch for this pullback here. I think that we could, honestly, I think QQQ is going to start heading lower. But it's not about what I think is going to happen. You just got to look at the levels and go from there. It's just about the sentiment, the market sentiment around all of this. And you just have to be realistic that you are trading within this range of $420 and $460. So if you're going to buy long term, really look at like the chart on like a 5-year chart and notice that this trend has broken and we're trading down here now. Your last stop or resistance would be that 400 for QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100. But I would just be, if I'm going to be buying, I'm going to be looking to short or buy puts, because you want to see pushes back up into this 465 and then start selling off. If you're going to go long, you don't really have much risk management here. Like this is where you'd be going long if you bought at 450. And then it's very difficult to manage your risk because you are risking this much range. If you look at that percentage gain right there, trying to go long at 450 all the way back up to here is only 3%. But if you were to you're risking like 6%. So it's really difficult to know where you're going to be buying. I would be waiting for further pullbacks, looking for that range. Even if you're long-term buying, I wouldn't be buying at 450. I'd be trying to wait until we get to like 430s. So just something to think about there. Let's look at the SPY real quick. Going back to them, just to go over the S&P 500. I think it's important to always start with the big dogs. All right, this is kind of the range. It's similar to QQQ. You have these touches of support that have now broken. And what I like about this is where you saw this support here, you had it reject at 550, and now you're trading within this range right here. So if you're going to buy and you're going to go long, it's the same principle. You're not going to have that look right here. You only have this range for profit if you were to buy right there at 530. But you're also risking, let me just smooth this over. You're also risking this much. It's like a 1 to 3R. It's a terrible ratio right there to try to make money. So I definitely would be cautious on that, all right? So now looking at that, if you're going to play SPY, you need to get above these levels. I really wouldn't be going long today. I would be looking for the short into 550, see if it rejects, and then start going after individual stocks that you think are going to be selling off. You need SPY to reclaim this 550. I do not see that happening today. I hope I'm wrong. You need something from retail sales news today or some kind of information here. But that's definitely what I'd be looking for. Let's go into the big dog. Let's go through the Mag 7 real quick. I like to do SPY, QQQ, then Mag 7. I like puts today, Angelo, but you just got to be careful if you're buying your puts. Buy at the top of the resistance zones and try to short the tops. Let's see if we actually get some buying opportunities or put opportunities, meaning where it's going to be. We get the pop up like Tesla into like 270s and then force the move down. That's what I'd be looking for. Look for that consolidation zone. Looking at Tesla just on the long-term perspective here, I've been accumulating shares around 220. We had that nice pop. I didn't sell it, obviously. I'm just accumulating shares. So 220 all the way up to 292. When you're holding long-term, you're just trying to get shares lower. I want to see Tesla move back down to 220. That would be nice. I think if we retest 220, we're going back for new lows. Google is a stock that I do think that eventually, obviously, we have to say not financial advice because we're all YouTubers on this. But I do believe that we will see, my prediction, we're going to see Google around 200 by the end of the year or by March 2026. I'm going to continue buying shares of them. Anything under 160, I just keep buying every single week in the taxable portfolio, the YouTube portfolio. I do like that we have these strong buys of support right here, which we saw with this green candle around $143 per share. We were picking up shares during there. But to make no mistake about it, you are in a downtrend. There is, you are buying a bear market right now. And if you're looking at it, it still has to break out of this. So we got to prove that it can make higher lows. And right now, I just don't see that happening until we get some positive news, and we need QQQ to reclaim this 470 level. It's very difficult to go long on that. So just beware if you're going to trade Google. Watch your QQQ for that 470 level, and we got a long ways to go with Google. Google's got to get above 170 in my eyes to be bullish. But as a long-term investor, I'm going to keep buying the dip. I'm going to buy the fallen knife. Looking at Apple here, that's just for short-term trading on Google. You definitely need to be wary. Apple here, you got to watch out for this level right here. 210, I definitely would be cautious. You've had multiple touch points around 210, support 210. It broke 210. Now it went back up around 212 to 210, that range. I think Apple is leading up to be a very good short right now. You have this trend line that's forming right here, going here to here. And then what I'd be looking for is for this to break. So look for this push back up into 210, consolidation. See how it does up here, and then maybe you get your potential put position right there if that's what you're looking for. That's what I'd be looking into. Looking into Microsoft here. Microsoft, same principles. It's all laid out for you on the channel for you to look at this. You have these resistance levels at the psychological $400 level. I've been buying shares of them down in the 350s, just holding them to see what they're doing. But I'm not going to be naive. You have to think, stocks right now are struggling. Look for that pushback up to 390, 395. If you're lucky, maybe get at 400 and then push back down. But we'll see what happens at the open here in about 1 hour. We did that. Let's look at Meta. I like Meta, but I don't like them yet. I want Meta to keep selling off. Right now, I think we just need to wait until 550 for a short opportunity. I'm hoping they kind of just keep sliding down. I want to get Meta much lower than this. I want them around the $400 per share. So I got still a ways to go for these guys. Looking at them long term, a pullback here back to about 400 would be about 21 to 25% pullback. So I'm still waiting for that to happen. And then, did I miss any of the other bulls? We already went over NVIDIA. We did that guy. All right, so now let's move forward. Let's go to a few stocks that are kind of random that people might not be interested in, but I just want to throw it out there. You saw that we had NMAX that pumped all the way up from $14 all the way up to $287 the last couple of days, early April. And now we are starting to consolidate in this $25 range, and it's been stair-stepping down. So what I'm really looking for here is I'm waiting for new lows. This doesn't mean that they're going to do well. I am just waiting for them to come. I have alerts all set for $15, $14, $13, $12, and then I'm going to take a stab at these guys. I'm waiting for another 50% pullback on these guys to pull back to about $15 to $12 range because they opened up around $10 and then went to the moon. Next we have, let's go to Bull, Webull. Be careful of these fallen knives. Webull opened up, it popped all the way up about 655%. And with that 655% for the poor soul that bought at $79, he's down 52%. Right now, we got to see it's forming some sort of base around $37. I'm hoping we can get a pullback to around the $25 range. I'm going to mark that out right now. I'll set an alert for it of when I will start watching Webull. So let's just wait and see what it does at there. Realty income, this is something that I have definitely been considered buying in the YouTube portfolio. I think earning those dividends monthly, just diversifying a little bit, getting a little bit of a REIT action in there is definitely something to consider. Looking at the 5-year chart, all it's done is trade sideways, but if you were slowly stair-stepping up, that would be okay from a long-term perspective. There definitely was a great buying opportunity this month where it went to $50 and you're already seeing the rewards right here. If we can get a pullback around $53 to $52, I'll definitely be interested in buying some realty income. Let's talk about Uber. Let's talk about Jay Young's favorite stock. I know he's got a good portion of this in his portfolio. And it is trading, no doubt about it. It is trading within this zone of $60 and $80. So you just need to be cautious when you're trading this and just know which zone you are in. He has shares much lower, which is excellent. So you just have to be cautious that if you're going to go long at $75 per share, there is definitely a small win potential here and a high loss potential here, looking just at the trading zone. If you think that you see momentum in there, then go for it. But for me, this is not enough risk versus reward where I would be trading this. I'd be waiting back down around $63 to $64 trading Uber. And just be careful of that $80 resistance, $80 to $82 resistance. Now we're seeing JP Morgan starting to break trend here of where it was. We had a little support here at 212, and now zooming in here, if JP Morgan can get above this $240 range, I do see a potential here to move higher. The banks are definitely been a little resilient, which is nice to see, but we have to see a 240 hold, consolidate, and then a push higher. That's what I'd be looking for with JP Morgan. If it doesn't get there, then look for your push back down at 240. You just got to see what it does at that level. It's very difficult right now to predict what they're going to do because there's a few, most of the sectors, tech and semiconductors are just getting destroyed right now. And with NVIDIA leading the way on that pullback yesterday, I would be looking for short opportunities when it comes to semiconductors. If you can get a push back up to 210, consolidate, push back down, looking for that aspect. I have a feeling that we're just going to start sinking right at this bell, so we'll see. If we start pushing down, you can look for your longs at 180, but they're not very good positions because you really want to see these levels fail. You want to see this level fail. We want to see 180 finally fail in the semiconductors. And what we're really looking for the big puts is we fail, go past it, retest, and then push lower. That's what I'd be looking for with this. Moving forward, let's go to SCHD. I've been picking up shares of these guys too in one of my accounts long term. I just love the way that this looks. You have the 5-year chart, 2020, bouncing off of these levels. Of course, I'm going to be a buyer at these levels. I picked up share. I'm down here right now at this 24.50 range. That's where I was looking to pick up some, shares. And I'm gonna trust the long-term perspective on this. Get a nice diversified portfolio. Looking for that. Starbucks is a company that I like. I'm a buyer of them. I like the CEO. He's got good experience. I'm looking to keep buying more as it goes down. I'm waiting for $75 per share, and I'm going to start loading the boat on Starbucks. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I do like the aspect of getting around $75 to $77. We just need a further pullback. We can use this $100 range right now as our resistance and just try to accumulate shares. Anything below $78 is where I'd be looking. Amazon, another potential good opportunity. Every person, every CNBC channel that you watch, they're all saying Amazon's a buy, Amazon's a buy. That always makes me a little hesitant when I'm hearing the big wigs talk about like that. I feel like they're opening up short positions when they're saying that. But if we can get a move down to 160s, down to 150, I'll be a buyer at 150. Then they can get my money. But right now, I think Amazon is setting up beautifully for a short position right here. If we can get a push back up to this 190s, consolidate, make that lower high, and then boom, start failing. That's what I'd be looking for with these guys. All right, so let's move on. Let's move forward. Let's move to Visa. Visa stock is something that we want to add to the portfolio. We have not bought yet. I'm waiting for the bottom of this trend channel, so I got a long ways to go. 256, 258 is where I'm looking for. I'm not willing to buy Visa when it's at 366 and now 340. I think there's further downside. Just got to be patient. Costco stock, it is at 976 right now. Costco is a beast. This company only knows how to go in one direction, it seems like, and that's to go up. Just be cautious. Make sure you're watching this $1,000 level, all right? This would definitely be a short opportunity. If it breaks 1,000, you know where you're going to stop loss. I mean, you're just going to stop right above it. So just you got that level right here at 1,000. See what it does here. It's not that far up of a move from 976 percentage wise. It's only like a 2% move up forward, setting up nicely for puts right into this range and then coming back down. I don't know how you guys play your puts. It depends. If it's really a short-term trade, it might be like a two-week expiration. But if you don't know where the exact top is, then I like 2 to 3 months to avoid a little bit of theta. Let's talk about Berkshire Hathaway. This guy, once again, doesn't fail. 540. It's near all-time highs again. It went down to 462, and the buyers ate that up. That just shows you how strong this stock is and how well respected it is. That it was going on this trend, and they didn't even let it come back down. It just popped right back up, 460, all the way back up to 578. So I'm not buying them. I'm going to wait for a pullback. We got to see what's going to happen with Warren Buffett. I'm not buying that stock until we have further news on that. Looking forward here on AMD. AMD, if you're going to buy companies like this, you just got to be careful. You got better ones like Broadcom, better ones like NVIDIA. If you want to go AMD, you can go with that with the GPUs, but they're in second or third place, so definitely be cautious. I like them down here at 76, but not in the 80s. It just looks like to me that we are going to eventually form on AMD this nice little bear flag because we had this massive sell-off from 95 down here to 85 and now, or 87, I'm sorry. And then if you're going to short this, looking for weakness at the open and then just start selling off. Let me just draw that out one more time. Not sure why that did that. And then just start pushing down right there. That's what I'd be looking for in that aspect. So that's what I'm looking for there. MU is like third or fourth place when it comes to these semiconductors. They're forming a massive bear flag in my eyes as well. The SMH, SOX, L, they're all showing weakness. The semiconductor ETFs. I believe that we are going to make further lows from $68. We're going to push down right at the open. Looking for this move right down to $60 per share. And that would be nice for you guys that are shorting it. Broadcom is another stock that I think offered a valuable opportunity for long-term investors. 250, just if you just do like the math, I mean, looking at 250, this is the beginning of almost the beginning of the new year. It's like December 15, 2024. It's only been 4 months. Pulled back 43%. These are massive pullbacks. If we can get a pullback to 160, I might be a buyer at Broadcom. I missed them because I was buying other stocks like Microsoft and Google at these lows. But it's clear that the resistance touches here are around $200 per share on Broadcom. Support will be around 160. So be wary of that. Nike getting killed by the tariffs. This stock has been nothing but dog crap. Looking at the 5-year, this is in my YouTube portfolio, just getting absolutely hammered right now. If you look at these guys, they need to figure something out. They're getting killed. But it's hard to, how can they really do much with the tariffs that are in place now, right now? So you're going to have to wait for that news to kind of figure out. If you believe in Nike long term, then yes, you can start buying. But you just have to go with the knowledge that you're going to be buying a fallen knife. That's just one way that I would look at it. So looking at it there, I would go with the $52 range. If that breaks, we're headed down to 50, and you're most likely going to retest that range. Palantir, these guys, excellent. They're holding. Check out the $100 level on these guys. I'd be cautious here, watching this level at $100, and I'm waiting for that short opportunity. You would just push up right into here is where I would be looking to trade them, right into 100, 102, and then push back down to $90 per share. ASML, I believe we have earnings today. So did they have their earnings already? Because it looks like they really sold off. 672 down to 640. Let me just type that in real quick. Hold on. ASML earnings date. Oh, it says, yeah, look at that. Before market open. So I guess they didn't do too well as well. Oh, here we go. I didn't realize that. Okay, so ASML misses order expectations amid tariff uncertainty. So yeah, look at that. That kind of sets the tone too as well. And none of these companies are going to be able to guide with this tariff news. It's not possible. Like, they don't know the rules, etc. Until mommy and daddy figure it out. Pretty much, we're going to be in trouble here. So you just got to be cautious. When things get figured out, the market's going to go to the moon. But until then, it's going to be painful. You're going to have to be able to just watch and just watch it sell off. All right, so there you go. So 658. I would just stay away from ASML right now. Semiconductors, unless you're buying puts, I would really be staying away. Serve Robotics, this stock is starting to curl back up, but it's got to get above back $6. If you can get above that, above like, not even $6, honestly. Yeah, I'd say 6 to 650, then maybe we can start to curl back up. But it's been a bad sell-off from there. NBIS, this is a stock I personally like. I haven't bought them yet. I'm still being very patient. I thought that we were going to head lower when we went to $18.30. I really want them like below $15, $14, and I will hold this stock for a good like 3 to 5 years. But I need to see them pull back a little further. I don't want to buy shares at $20 and then I just average down at $15 because I wasn't patient. If I miss them, I'm okay with it. But right now, they got to hold this $20 range. If they don't hold this $20 range, they're in trouble. That's how I look at it right there. Next, BBAI. This stock has died. It's went down to $2.05. So that's $2.50, which is definitely not good. They are making lower lows. $2.40. If it breaks this, you are headed even lower here to probably $2 flat. So if you're holding them, say goodbye to your money. Looking at Intel stock, we have really sold off, and it's just another semiconductor where you're going to get that sell off here. So looking at the 1 month chart here, moving back down, I would be cautious of watching this level here at $18.50. There's definitely buyers coming in there. It doesn't mean it's going to hold, but we'll see where the market decides to go here. If it pushes like this and then pushes back down, that's what I'd be looking for. Chipotle stock. This is usually like a recession-proof stock. Everybody's got to eat their burritos still. Everybody's still hungry. Looking at this push here, 15, 25. Now we're all the way back up here. It has held this level very nicely at $44 per share. So that was a very nice call out, but only if you have shares. So you've been dollar cost averaging, and that's good. Let's see if it can hold. It's got to get above $50 per share. If you can get above $50 per share, I think you have more of a chance. But right now, make no mistake, this is the level that you are trading within. Get above $50, then look for long positions. I would not go long on this until then. Unless you're looking to buy long term, then you do what you want to do. SMH, it looked promising, and then it sold off. 33 down to 31. With the semiconductor news, SMH needs to get above this $35 range. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. Let's go over a few more stocks, and let's end it here. Home Depot is a stock I like long term. I look at these as buying opportunities, buying these guys. I would definitely be cautious looking for these guys. 350, pushing back up to 380 would be your resistance. And then if you're looking at support levels, you can see at 330 as well. Let's see. Any stocks you want, let me know. Him stock, this stock is sold off. With the news of the GLP drugs, if they're going to start getting some media backlash, etc., and start getting some issues, then this is going to happen. I think what you're seeing is, looking at this 1 month chart, some consolidation in this area, trying to get above that $30 range. To get above that $30 range is going to be tough. So I would definitely be cautious looking at this. And we're going to have to push back up here. If we don't push back up above $30 and consolidate and then push up, I think you're going to see more downside down to $22. That's how I look at it. Yeah, SEH is definitely a good place to start buying REITs if that's what you're interested in. I'm not against that. But thank you guys so much for watching the live stream. I appreciate it. If you haven't seen it, you can click on it and just watch it at the end too. That's fine. And I'll see you guys next time, all right?